friends, today we're going to be talking about my Lolita influences. Well, more my style influences, I guess. In my Lolita evolution video, I talked about how my friend introduced me to Lolita and how I discovered it. When I started off in Lolita fashion, people used to criticize me a lot for having a Western influenced style, and I didn't understand what that meant. I often felt like I had to prove myself as looking more Lolita or looking more Japanese inspired, which I quickly got over and stopped caring about. But I always wondered, like, why did people think that? And then I realized that a lot of the things that influence my style and a lot of the things that I am inspired by are from like North America, Europe, like the Western side versus Japan. I've talked to a lot of Lolitas who got into Lolita because they really liked Black Butler, Rosen Maiden, I think is the name of that anime I still haven't watched, Rose of Versailles, Paradise Kiss, like all of these different animes that actually showed Lolita or showed some form of Rococo style. I look back at a lot of things from when I was growing up that influenced me and I'm like, that is Lolita. Like, it's not meant to be Lolita, but this is Lolita. I want to go through some of them today and see if you know any of them or if any of these affected your style and your interests.
Hey!
Hi?
I want a Lolita dress. Where do I get?
You could check out Au Boudoir d'Alice, a brand new Lolita dedicated shop opening in Montreal in early August.
Gee! Wow! Thanks!
But I'm not local, what do I do?
You can check out their Facebook page to get updates on when their online shop goes up. You can like it and then see their posts, and you have the upper hand on new arrivals and information.
Thanks, I'll do that.
What if I am not local and I do not have an internet?
How are you watching this?
I'm not?
Thanks, Au Boudoir d'Alice, for sponsoring this video. So when I was a kid, my mom restored these dolls called Kittles from the 60s.
The flowers she wears, Kittle cologne for your dresser, for your purse, or just for play. New Kittle colognes. You can tell they're Mattel.
This was before or at the beginning of eBay, so we went to a lot of different toy conventions and I got to see things in person because she had to find these dolls and these pieces and these toys to restore them. We also went to a lot of vintage stores and thrift stores, and because of that I found a lot of like late 80s toys that I probably wouldn't have been exposed to in the 90s because they weren't at Toys R Us anymore or they weren't the current new thing. And I really fell in love with a lot of them. And I collected them too, even though they were from before my time. I feel like a lot of fashions and toys from the early 90s, late 80s had a very similar silhouette to Lolita. This magical jewels doll, like how many Lolita cores have you seen where there's jewels in the bangs?
Fun for you with Little Miss Magic Jewels. We can put jewels everywhere. Little Miss Magic Jewels doll comes.
I remember having this doll and just having all of these gems tangled up in my hair and like ripping out my hair because these gems were on Velcro. Rainbow Brite. Okay, lots of people know Rainbow Brite, right? This specific one, Moon Glow Moon. She's so Lolita and like Fairy Kay. I love her style so much. It's so beautiful. And like it's so perfectly pastel too. Cherry Mary Muffin dolls were basically Sweet Lolitas before Sweet Lolitas. Like, come on, look at that. This is like some Chiari inspired 2013 OTT Sweet coordinate right there. Yeah, like all of these Cherry Mary Muffin outfits I would wear. That cake dress, oh, they're all so good. Somebody needs to recreate this picture with a bunch of Lolitas in similarly styled coordinates. Strawberry Shortcake dolls. I had this my size Barbie and I wore that dress like every day. I remember I fully had grown out of it and it was ripping and I still wore it and like tried to wear it with other things. American Girl dolls were these dolls that were paired with a book series and they all took place in different points in time. But I had Felicity Merriman and she was my absolute favorite. She was based in the 1700s and her character was that she was all like rough and tumble, but she had to wear these fluffy dresses and I just wanted to wear the fluffy dresses. I feel like a lot of sweet Lolitas had Felicity, and then a lot of classic Lolitas had Samantha, because Samantha's time period was more the Victorian era. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about that. I'm curious, if you had an American Girl doll, which one did you have and what style do you wear now? When I was a kid I was really lucky and I got to visit England and France pretty regularly during the summer, and that's where I discovered my absolute love of everything Rococo and a bunch of Rococo artists who are all French. I can't pronounce their names properly, so I'm not even gonna try. I'm just gonna list some of them here. Yes, ooh, do some Googling now. And then the Marie Antoinette film. I mean, I feel like a lot of sweet Lolitas can attribute that film to piquing their interest in that sort of style. It was so colorful and sweet and beautiful. I did have a few anime influences. I read Chobits one day when I was really sick. My mom randomly just bought me a Chobits manga and I read it and it was weird.
I was right. You are very special after all. You really might be one of the Chobits series.
But also really cool, and I love the fashions in it. And then Cardcaptor Sakura, Tomoyo / Madeline, I think her name is in the English dub, is basically me. Like, she loves to film stuff. Everything she wears is very Lolita-esque. She makes a lot of dresses, which I can't do, but like, we're almost there. We're almost one and the same. But Cardcaptors and Chobits were kind of the only Lolita-ish influences that I had from anime. I watched a lot of Sailor Moon, but I don't know that I'd say that Sailor Moon had any real references to Lolita in it that I can remember offhand. Along with the Marie Antoinette film, the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise had a lot of great fashion in it too, which inspired me. There's a movie I completely forgot about until researching for this video and looking up stuff from my childhood and my past, and that is Cats Don't Dance. That film is so great and so underrated, I feel. The fashions and the design of it is so cute. I want to clarify too that my influences are not meant to be Lolita influences. Like, this is not necessarily media or toys or anything portraying Lolita, but these are kind of similar colors or silhouettes or styles that I think made me drawn to Lolita. And of course this is going to be different for every individual, every person's style. Everyone's introduced to different things by different things and everyone has different interests. These are all the things I could think of for now that have influenced my style. I'm sure I'll remember even more things, or I will realize more things that I don't even realize yet. I want to know if you enjoyed any of these things or if you think that they influenced your style. And until next time, stay lovely.